Sometimes, when everything falls apart, it's not punishment, it's preparation. Because when your plans are shattered, it might just be that God is making room for his. Once upon a time, a ship was caught in a violent storm at sea. The waves were monstrous, the wind unforgiving. The ship broke apart, and every passenger on board drowned, except for one man. By the grace of God, he survived the wreck and was swept onto the shore of a deserted island. Hours later, he woke up confused and bruised, with no one in sight and nothing around but endless water and sand. Alone and scared, the man looked up at the sky and prayed, "Oh God, please help me, please send someone." But no help came. That night, he lay under the open sky, cold, hungry, and filled with fear, waiting, hoping, praying. The next morning, as the sun rose over the endless ocean, the man slowly opened his eyes. His body ached, but more than that, his heart was tired. He looked up once again and prayed, "Oh God, I'm still waiting. Please, send someone, save me." But again, the day passed, and nothing happened. Time moved slowly on the island. With no rescue in sight, the man began to accept his new reality. He decided to stop waiting and start surviving. From scattered pieces of the broken ship, he gathered wood, rope, and cloth. Using dry leaves and branches, he built a small hut near the edge of the forest. It wasn't perfect, but it gave him some shade from the sun and protection from the night wind. Each day, he woke up early, searched for coconuts, caught fish with sharpened sticks, and collected rainwater in empty shells. Life wasn't easy, but he tried his best. Still, every evening, before sleeping, he would look at the sky and whisper, "Please, God, don't forget me." One day, he needed to cook the fish he had caught. So, he lit a small fire near the hut and went into the forest to gather more food. But as he returned, a terrible sight stopped him in his tracks. His hut, his only shelter, was engulfed in flames. The fire had spread from the cooking area, and now everything he built, everything he had collected from the ship, was burning to ashes. He fell to his knees in despair. Tears filled his eyes as he shouted at the sky, "Why, God? I asked for help, and you remained silent. I built this with my hands, and you burned it down. Why are you doing this to me?" He sat there for hours, angry, hurt, and hopeless. Eventually, exhaustion overtook him, and he fell asleep on the sand near the shore. At dawn, he was awakened by a deep, rumbling sound. Rubbing his eyes, he looked out to the sea, and froze. A large ship was approaching the island. He stood up quickly and waved his hands. The ship saw him and began to anchor. When he climbed aboard, he asked the captain, How did you find me?" The captain smiled and said, "We saw a smoke signal from the island yesterday evening. That's why we came to check." The man stood silently, as realization hit him. The smoke signal was his burning hut. It wasn't destruction. It was deliverance. It wasn't the end. It was God's plan unfolding. And for the first time in days, he smiled and whispered, "Thank you, God." In life, we make many plans. We dream, we prepare, and we work hard to shape our future. But often, things don't go the way we expect. The job doesn't come. The relationship breaks. The opportunity slips away. And in those moments, we begin to question everything, including God. We ask, "Why is this happening to me?" We feel lost, forgotten, and alone. But what we forget is, we see only a small piece of the puzzle, while God sees the entire picture. When things don't go our way, it doesn't mean God has abandoned us. It may simply mean He's redirecting us towards something far greater. Sometimes, the worst moments in life are the very events that push us toward our true purpose. Sometimes, the closed door is saving you from a trap. Sometimes, the burning hut is the very signal that brings your rescue. In a world filled with noise and chaos, remember this: God has not forgotten you. He is working, silently, patiently, behind the scenes. So never lose hope. Keep walking, keep praying, keep trusting, because His plan for you is not only different, it's divine. And always, always better than the one you had for yourself.